I'm sorry, what?
Welcome back to an all new episode of Mondays Are a Mother. I'm your host, Kaylin, and if you're new here, I'm glad you made your way to this space. Today, we're hanging out in my bedroom. Honestly, I'm exhausted. I don't know about you guys. For those who are watching at home or wherever you watch, I I know I'm always moving something new, something is always changing here. And I ironically think that that's kind of like a metaphor for life in a sense. Something's always changing, something's always going on. Last week, when we sat down together, I was very in a good place. Still am. Hey. We talked about just the mental reset, change, what life looks like after changing everything. And I gotta be honest with you, I think that's why I'm so tired. I have been embracing a lot of change lately, and it is exciting. It's new, but it's not necessarily reinventing anything. I don't know if you're like me, but the whole new year, new me thing always makes me feel like kind of icky because I like me. I think I'm fun, but it's not reinvention, but more like a software update for my brain. I've been doing my counseling. I have been checking in with friends, trying to be more open. And I think that's where I get nervous, is because if you're like me, when you say things that are like positive going on, and it's like, I hate to feel like a liar, or I hate to feel like I'm disappointing anyone when I am bragging about something and then it falls through, and I feel disappointed in myself, let alone having to tell other people like, "Hey, I don't know what happened, but this happened." And I think that's why I feel so closed off with relationships and creating intimacy. I feel like I've always just had to update so many negatives that I try not to get too excited about the positives because I don't want to get my hopes up. I have to say that I'm working my way out of that and trying to embrace all things new and exciting. I remember sharing that I made the dean's list and I wasn't even like happy about it because I was going through just so much mentally. And I low-key don't know what can be taken away from me when something positive does happen. Kind of like, I guess it's like imposter syndrome or waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm still working through that for sure. So these mental gymnastics have definitely been creating some exhaustion for me. But I'm still powering through and I'm still doing my best to show up for myself. This new routine that we're building and trying to reset, getting ready for the kids to go back to school. I'm starting a new class and I don't know what I'm doing. Everyone is always like, "Hey, you're going to school. What are you going for?" I'm like, "Business." They're like, "Oh, that's so neat." I'm like, "Mm-hmm." I don't know what I'm doing. I think I just like the stress, to be completely honest with you. But starting a new class, the boys are starting new school years, grades, and it is definitely different. It is exciting, but it's different. I can't wait to see what all we accomplish this school year. I think one of the biggest things for myself is that I'm more aware and involved than I have been in the past because I'm not juggling as much. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm juggling a ton, but when it comes to where I was a year ago, still battling stuff, getting things finalized with court, with the divorce, all of that, because embarrassingly, the divorce took longer than the relationship did, let's be for real. Having to pay all of that, juggle that while trying to like, live successfully or just focus on success was not the easiest task, to say the least. But we made it through, and I'm excited to see what we do this year and what we build this year without all of this mental bullshit. accompanying with it. Now, I do have something fun and exciting, and I'm kind of nervous to talk about because, like I said, every time I say something like really exciting going on in my life, or if I like brag about a man, they always disappoint me. But I did something kind of crazy silly, and you're either gonna think I'm a psycho or you're gonna be like, Kaylin, you're gonna get, and you're probably right. But I'm gonna I'm gonna just accept it for what it is and be excited for the experience. I don't answer any of my messages. I have my notifications actually turned off on Messenger. Reason being is because the caliber of men that reach out to me either look like their parents are related or they're old enough to be my grandpa, and I'm not earning like I'm not earning a Girl Scouts badge like helping people across the street. Like I'm not looking for that. So I typically keep it off, but this guy who had reached out to me before, but I thought like he was a catfish, reached out to me again, and we just had a conversation, and he asked me out a date and I said yes. And normally I wouldn't do that. Normally I would be like, absolutely not, you're a freaking weirdo. But I don't know, I did. And it was so nice. We had a blast actually. Showed up early and wanted to just hang out and spend time. It's been a really long time since I've been around anyone, let alone anyone new. But something kind of weird happened to me, and I don't know. I kind of want to talk about it, but I don't at the same time because it's still something that I'm processing and working through. And I know other people who unfortunately have had the same shared experience are probably like, oh wow, yeah. The thought of intimacy with someone new after being attacked is probably one of the scariest things ever for me. Um, I don't even know how to explain it, but someone like not knowing you and then you having to, and I say having to, you don't have to tell anyone anything you don't want to, but I personally think that it would be wise for myself, even because I don't know, I don't want somebody to like whip their dick out and then like me start crying because that's a boner killer for literally everyone in the room. Like, I don't know what even to say other than that because I want to have a good time. I want to be in the moment and enjoy the experience, but I also, my body can't regulate what is the good experience and what is fight or flight. And so I constantly have to remind myself and do these mental gymnastics. So thinking about that and then thinking about dating and what my experience has been dating, I think the few dates that I went on with the mystery man were fun, but I always felt like I was one move away from ruining the evening. I just wanted to always go with the flow and be so positive because I was finally like getting to do something. And then there is a sense of shame that I felt because there was never anything public other than like a few likes or like in person things. Now, of course, even that person went as far back as to remove the likes on my post. Like, ugh, gross. Like, just say you're gay. It's okay. But to think about that experience and then to put myself in a position to get my feelings hurt again was really scary. And even if I don't, even if this person is like, hey, this is too much or just doesn't talk to me anymore, I do have to say that being reminded that there is life outside of here was one of the nicest reminders. I forget sometimes that I can be happy or like I can choose to be happy. I think I've just been so sad for so long, or I don't know, like I have just felt like I don't deserve it. Um, because I feel like I let David die. And I know that I didn't. And I know that anyone who has had this experience understands where I'm coming from, because you understand that you're carrying guilt that you shouldn't. And I feel like I let David die, not like literally. I've talked about it before, but I had a dream and I shared it with him. And I was angry with him. I tried everything sort of to pivot that dream, and it didn't happen. He still died. And some of that I feel like is my responsibility, but it isn't. What happened is what happened, and how it happened is how it's supposed to be. And I wish it wasn't, but it is what it is. And we have to make better than what we had. But I still mentally live there. And then to go from that to getting back into a marriage that wasn't healthy to begin with, making the same decisions that were made the previous time, to then thinking that I had it all figured out, and it got ripped out from under me, to being attacked. I've just felt like I don't deserve happiness, or that I'm not the kind of person that gets like selected for that. And it's so weird. But after thinking and after reading and after praying and counseling and talking through this, like, I realized that even through all of this, I've shown up, and still been so full of love, and still been so full of hope and intention. And that's all I can do. And I know that there's always a rainbow after a rainstorm, even if that rainbow is like for a freaking day. I mean, hell, it rains in Hawaii every morning. Sometimes I get two, you know? I mean, damn. I I'm just gonna accept the weather as it comes and prepare. I think that's all you can do. And letting go of things that aren't my responsibility and aren't mine to carry anymore is one of the biggest steps that I'm taking this year. And that's why I started addressing it, the addiction, any addiction. I really need to address vaping, but that's my freaking life support. When I quit smoking, that hurt me, I think, more than anything in the world, because that was my best friend. The cigarette was there for me through every breakup, every bounce check, every time I went to jail. Cigarettes and me were like this. So that's why I sound like a 45-year-old raspy bitch when I am still in my early 30s. I'm going to keep saying early 30s probably until I'm in my early 40s, but you know, it is what it is. If you've been listening to me kind of ramble and process through this, I want to say thank you. And if you saw me out on my date, tell me how cute we were, because I I haven't come up with a nickname for him yet. I don't think I'm going to come up with a nickname. I think that if things continue and we go on more dates, that would be sick, and I would just make him my boyfriend. I don't want to continue a saga series of where I like living privately, don't get me wrong. It's kind of hard to tell. But I don't want to be with anyone that doesn't want to be with me in the same capacity. So I think it's okay to talk about dating and touch on those things and be like, damn, like, this man ran to open the freaking door for me. Like, he was like, hey, excuse me. I was like, oh, okay, I'm a slut. Like, immediately, bad thoughts. But I think that it's okay to share things that are positive or good experiences or lessons in the moment. And then when things become official, why not? If I see him again, great. If not, hey, that's okay too. Like I said, I needed that. I needed to remember that there are people who will genuinely like you, like your aura and what you bring. I don't know the last time anyone has said to me, other than like a girl girlfriend because my girlfriends, they love me and I love them. They're my girly pops. But they just told me that they love me for the way that I think or my brain or how, who I am. And being hot helps. But, you know, it is nice to be complimented for everything that I do and my capabilities and beyond the surface. If you've been listening so far, again, thanks. Thanks for listening to me ramble. We're going to get into this week's tip and mantra, and then I have a couple announcements, and I'll blow you a kiss and wish you the best week ever. Now, this week's tip. Growth is not measured by how comfortable you feel. It's measured by your willingness to keep showing up, even when it's unfamiliar. And I feel like I've done a lot of growing this week. Fingers crossed. Now, this mama mantra. I can embrace new opportunities without losing myself. Balance isn't about standing still, it's about moving forward with intention. That's moving forward with intention has been my whole vibe. This year I'm gonna have it all. The happiness, the bills paid, the money, the full circle. It's all coming to me. I'm proud. I'm thankful. Now, blah, 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 our announcements. That was supposed to be a drum roll. I don't know what the fuck that was. But anyways, we are taking a pause, just a 1 week pause, where we will be working with production and getting things kind of situated. We have some guests lined up and aligning with their schedule and getting things pushed out. I'm so thrilled to be able to do this with so many cool people who just are awesome. Now, if you are interested in being a guest on the show, I know a few of you have messaged me and you're like, fill out the form, fill out the form. The form is located on our Instagram, which is at Mondays R_A_mother. How annoying, right? But Mondays Are a Mother podcast on Instagram. It is located in the bio for the Badass of the Week and our guest podcast form. If you're interested, please reach out. I would love to hear from you. Additionally, please provide your schedule so that way I can get with my team and we can get things moving. Another announcement that I have, which I brought up last week, but I need to formally announce what is going on. We have signed with Apple Podcast, and Apple Podcast is allowing for us to have subscription services. For $10 a year, you can go ad-free and watch videos and have online exclusive episodes that aren't available to the public. Episodes may include cliff notes, screenshots, and behind-the-scenes makings of what we do here. Now, if you're not interested in a yearly subscription, that is okay too. There is a monthly option for $9.99 a month, which I like that. I don't know about you, but like I said, being on the news bragging about being a broke bitch is not as tea as I wanted it to be, but we're getting there. Also, we do and will continue to have videos available on our YouTube, but we will start having subscriber-only exclusive content moving after this week. So even though I won't see you next week, just know we're working behind the scenes and I will be posting on our social medias so that way you can see what's all going on because everyone's like, make moves in silence, let success be your noise. Girl, I'm loud. I'm talking. I can't help myself. Check it out. Screw it from the rooftops. So, if you haven't already, like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. We're available on all streaming platforms. I am grateful for you. I wouldn't be able to do what I do if it wasn't for you. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great week. Love ya. Bye. See you in 2 weeks.